everybody. This is Keith Gleason, host of Indie Comics Relay, creator of the Mighty Mascots, and promoter for the Plastic City Comic Con. And I'm here with another comic review. Before we get into that, just a quick reminder that Plastic City Comic Con is happening on July 20th, 2024 in a new location, the Hilton Doubletree in Leominster, Mass. Right off the highway, right in the middle, one of the busiest sections of Leominster. Should be a great location for the show. Most importantly, we've managed to keep the admission to $10. That's right. You're going to get over 170 tables of vendors, artists, writers, creators, crafters, all for $10. And we're looking at possibly doing some panels this year, along with like a cosplay contest, things like all kinds of fun stuff. So it's going to be worth coming out. $10 for, admission. You can't beat that anywhere. Every other convention's going up in price. We're trying to stay the line at $10. So check it out if you get a chance. All right, on to this week's comic review. I am reviewing Duke #1 from Image Comics plus Skybound Entertainment, which is like a publishing company within Image. The writer on this book is Joshua Williamson. The artist is Tom Riley. The colorist is Jordi Belair. And Russ Wooten is the letterer on this. Short summary of the book. Let me read this off of the website because I often do not like to do spoilers on this show. So I'll just read you the premise here. A limited series from Joshua Williamson, DC's Superman and Dark Ride. Tom Riley, The Thing, and Jordi Belair, World Tree, tells a story you've never read before. The origins of GIJoe and Cobra in a world grappling with the arrival of the Autobots and Decepticons. When Conrad S. Hauser, codenamed Duke, investigates the mysteries behind the Transformers, the answers will lead to the birth of forces for good and evil that the world never imagined. So that's a short summary from the Skybound website. I'll probably go into the story a little bit more. The one thing that's been going on with the Skybound stuff is they picked up the Hasbro license, and it's just been a energy in these relaunches. Like you can tell that they sat down and really wanted to make Transformers and GIJoe freaking cool again, in comics, because the comics have kind of gotten a little stale. Like the GIJoe property and Transformers property was with IDW probably for the last 10 years or so. And I think before that it was with Image. And I remember it was kind of a cool thing when Image got it back in early 2000s, but it had kind of grown stagnant with IDW, and they didn't seem to be doing anything cool with it. And no one really cared. But when Robert Kirkman grabbed it all and kind of introduced it into, he called it the Energon universe, and he introduced it in a book called Void Rivals, which had the first appearance of one of the Transformers in it. And that was, I don't know how he kept it under wrap, but no one knew until that issue came out that, that they were going to be doing Transformers and GIJoe and stuff like that. So, so part of it is they're doing a GIJoe title with Larry Hama, which I reviewed a couple weeks ago. I'll link that here so if you guys can check it out. And that one is going to be continuing all the continuity of the Marvel series, but they're rebooting Transformers from the beginning, and then also doing a separate version of GIJoe from the beginning. So it's almost like you get two versions of GIJoe, like an older one, and then like this new version that's part of the Energon universe. So the Energon universe mixes the titles Void Rivals, Transformers, and then anything else that comes out, like this Duke miniseries, and then there's a Cobra Commander miniseries that just started as well. And so it's cool to see. I think it's when you do a shared universe, it always helps when you have all the creators involved, everyone sitting in a room talking about all the little things that they can do. You can kind of tell that's happening here, and I think that's why there's some kind of there's like an excitement to this, seeing this again. And the Daniel Warren Johnson Transformers kind of started off with the G1 old origin story again, where they crash on Earth, things like that. But he's doing it over again, but doing it in a fresh and different way. So to kind of set up Duke there, I think it was issue 2 or 3 of Transformers, where Starscream has a run-in with a couple of pilots, you know, in the sky. And one of them, I think he tries to grab the plane or something, and one of the pilots ejects and is instantly killed by Starscream. But the other pilot is Duke from GIJoe, who I think he does something to get away from Starscream. He either blows up a bomb in his face, something like that. I just remember him being able to get away, and then like you find out it's Duke, and that's even cooler, you know. So this miniseries picks up after that moment, and Duke is trying to process what the hell he saw in the sky there and why his good friend is dead now. You know, the guy that was flying with him was bringing him home from a mission, and, you know, he had a family and all this, and then Starscream just mercilessly killed him like he was nothing. And Duke is PO'd about that. So that's how the Duke miniseries starts off. And he kind of basically goes off the grid, goes against his, you know, the higher ups commands, and starts investigating what happened, because the government is kind of covering up the Transformers that exist in this world, almost like they're hiding like a super weapon or something like that. So that's kind of the launch pad of Duke #1. I will say I really loved Joshua Williamson's take on Duke. I think he nails what makes Duke such a cool character. Basically, you know, he's, if you think about it, he's kind of like Captain America in a lot of ways. He's just that guy that loves to be on the front line of a war, and, you know, loves to just help and like rescue people and things like that. So, you know, and he doesn't do good when he's behind an office, you know, an office desk, and, you know, he's got to be on the front line. Even I think in the second page of the issue, they call him a man of action. And I think that describes Duke perfectly. And Joshua Williamson nailed it. Like, he's really good in this. There's a lot of action, a lot of badass moments, a lot of deep cuts from GIJoe lore, which I thought was really cool. So I don't want to spoil that. I'll have you guys discover that on your own. But yeah, the characterization is probably one of the best things I've seen Joshua Williamson write. Honestly, like I like his writing. I'm hit and miss with some of it, but I think he's doing Superman right now, which is excellent as well. He just, sometimes he can find like a really nice take on a character, and he kind of gets in there. I know he's also doing the Cobra Commander miniseries, so I look forward to reading that and see where that goes. But yeah, overall, really, really good stuff. And also the artwork, I really liked it too. I don't think I've ever seen Tom Riley's artwork on anything else, but it's very clean, very full of life, very expressive. There's a scene where there's a gun shootout, and the lettering from Russ Wooten's amazing. Like the page is chaotic, but there's like sound effects happening in front of Duke and behind Duke, all around Duke. And I mean, it really gets across the amount of bullets coming at him. You know, I got to say, I haven't seen like a gunfight like this in a long time. I'll try to find the page and put it up here so you guys can see it. But yeah, really good stuff. All around great package, and great stuff from Skybound and Hasbro. I really, there's a few things that are exciting in comics right now, and I think one of them is this Energon universe. Like, it feels like they've really sat down and tried to say, like, how can we reinvent GI Joe and Transformers for a new generation and make it as cool as it ever was, but like how can we inject some life into it? And it's, you could see it, and that's why I think these books are killing it, you know. So I recommend it. Colors look great, the letters are awesome. Yeah, everything, the direction, the story, it's your solid 24-page story. I gotta commend them to, like, the cover price is $4.99. There's a page in the back where Joshua Williamson talks about his history with GI Joe, which was really cool. And yeah, I gotta say it's worth a pickup. I think you'll really like it, especially if you grew up with this stuff and you know you remember it fondly. I think you'll love this new direction that Hasbro's and Skybound is going in. I can't wait to see what this universe looks like in a year, you know, as they amp things up. And you know, I can't wait. So I'm hoping we'll see other properties too from Hasbro, like Mask. That would be cool, you know, and stuff like that. But check out Duke. It's a 5-issue mini, I believe. Worth your time, worth picking up. And I'm assuming Cobra Commander will be worth picking up as well. And I'll probably have a review for that one soon as well. So, all right, everybody, thanks for tuning into this review. As always, like, subscribe, share this video, comment. Let me know if you want to see more reviews of different indie books. You know, let me know what you want to see, you know, or if you want me to review something that I don't like, or, you know, whatever. I mean, I tend to pick up books that I know I'll probably enjoy. So, but yeah, I've read a couple. I've had a couple of doozies, you know, on this show. So, but all right, everybody, have a great week. Read some comics, and we'll talk to you later. All right, bye.